Hi, welcome back to my channel. My name is Spencer. I am an amateur tarot reader and I do tarot readings on Amberlynn Reid because I have nothing better to do with my time if we're being quite honest. I have questions written down here today to ask for our reading, and so I'm just going to get right into it. This is my deck, Goldie. And I did name a deck after two reaction channels who shared similar names. Jord, after Jordan and Jordy, because it's very snarky and mean. And I love reading with this deck because my thick skull needs some tough loving to get it through. But yeah, so for this instance, I would like to use Goldie because I don't think we should get too mean just yet. Sorry, I keep looking at myself because I'm used to looking at myself because I'm used to the camera being like right there, not to the side. You know what I mean? Anyway, so our first query is, please describe Amberlynn Reid. So let's get into it. This part's always like really annoying because it's just awkward silence while I shuffle. Anything else? Oh. Okay. Alright, I have to hold the cards like this because there's some inappropriate imagery for YouTube on it, but the first card that fell out was the Devil. And when I asked for anything else, I got the Magician reversed and the Three of Wands. So what this tells me about her is that she is so lost and caught up in her obsessions in this like cyclical way of living that everything that she wants to create, she just ends up ruining. She's a liar, she's sneaky, the Magician, before it originally became like, as above, so below, as within, so without. The Magician was associated with this fox. And what is the fox? A sneaky motherfucker. It's a liar, it's cunning, it's sly. But because we have the Three of Wands here, that means that she's always also looking at and trying to go after new prospects, right? The wands are all, to those who don't know, wands are all about action. It's about the physical. Cups are about emotions. Swords are about your mental state. And pentacles is about the material, the earth, really. And so when we have two major arcana cards here, with one literally being the Devil from the Bible, and the next one being the Magician in fucking reverse, it speaks for itself. Also, I spilled ink on my hand earlier trying to get my pen to work, and it wouldn't. But the next question is, how does Amberlynn Reid feel about reaction channels? How does she truly feel about them? Please and thank you. That was the Ace of Swords in reverse. 1 second. So, she fucking hates them with a passion. She thinks they're stupid, that they're wrong. The swords in tarot are always double-edged. And that means that they can cut other people and they can cut you, depending on how you wield it. Seeing as it's upside down and that it's really driving it down into the crown, which represents the head, it's safe to say that they drive her crazy. That they drive her up the wall. It really affects her mental health, so to speak, which it does. Any amount of negativity would. She's also not a good person. So, Ace of Swords in reverse is how she feels about reaction channels. They annoy the fuck out of her. She wishes that they would just shut up. They really get to her mentally in a way that I don't think anything else could, really, because with reaction channels, you can't fight back in person. You can't manipulate in person a reaction channel, especially when they see it in wrong one. Cut through the bullshit. That's what the sword is. The reaction channels are the sword. She's the crown. Next question. How does Amberlynn Reid truly feel about her audience? Please and thank you. And I have to lick my thumb or else like the cards just will not come out. It's just like, oh, that one's sticking out. Two of Swords. So, the way that she feels, and I feel like I need to cut the deck. Two of Swords, Queen of Wands. this should be so obvious. Queen of Wands is, I like to think about her as like the mafia mom, like Red from Orange is the New Black. She's very caring, very sweet, but she's also hardcore and will beat you the fuck up if necessary. That's why she carries the big stick. Stick. Speak softly, carry a big stick. That's this energy. Two of Swords represents, well, one, you blinded yourself. Two, you're holding swords like a stupid person, trying to guard yourself. But in reality, when you have swords and you're holding them like that, you're more likely to cut off your own head rather than, attack what's right in front of you. And so how she feels about her audience is, well, one, she's done it to herself. She's made herself blind willingly. When it comes to the critiques, the moon in the background represents intuition. It represents secrets, that which is in the subconscious, etc., emotions. And with that hanging over her head, it's like it's an unavoidable, inescapable thing for her, really. And so I would say, to sum it up, how she feels about her audience is she feels trapped, and like everybody is doing everything against her, and she's holding the swords really stupid because she's trying to defend herself. But if you look really closely at the hands, who holds a sword like that? All right. The next one is, how does Amberlynn Reid feel about Beck? Truly. Given everything that's going on with Beck being amazing and coming out and sharing their story, with everything that happened, Amber really can't find a place to hide, especially with like Destiny coming out of the works and like, hey Beck, let's collab. So how does Amberlynn Reid truly feel about Beck? Please and thank you. I gotta say please and thank you. Oh, I'll go back and get that one. Now, whenever a card flips in the deck, I like to think that it is an answer, but it is a hidden answer. It is a answer that does not necessarily want to be revealed. So this is a whole bunch of fun. We have the Empress. Bottom of the deck, 5 of Swords. Top of the deck, Queen of Cups. She feels very high and mighty, like she is always in the right. I mean, obviously we can tell based on her faux apology. But she thinks she's that bitch, right? Major Taurus energy. This card really fits Amberlynn in all the negative ways, where it's like the excessiveness of it all, very heavy Taurus energy, very much in the comfort of the material, of what you know, not leaving your comfort zone, etc., which kind of, I mean, I read tarot based on their meanings, but also based on the context of the situation and the imagery within them. And so with this, it's like she thinks she has the upper hand, and the 2 dudes in the background are all of her exes. You see how she has 2 swords. She's taken away their assets. She feels high and mighty about it. She feels real good about it. And then with the Queen of Cups at the top of the deck. So the bottom of the deck represents like the subconscious, the things that you want to keep inside. The top of the deck is kind of like what is more upfront, what's more towards the front of your conscience. Queen of Cups, she thinks she's being an emotionally manipulative bitch and that it's working. It's really fucking not. It's really fucking not. And this cup is different than any of the other cups in the deck, because the Queen has gone and made it her own. And it has crab legs, which signifies heavy Cancer energy. So, like, Cancer is very much associated with the Chariot, very much like, I let my emotions drive me, I get things done, I go and I do them. And so with the Queen of Cups here, she can be especially manipulative, if given the opportunity. She looks like a smug bitch too. Okay, that's all I have to say. All right, and this is a question that I've particularly had on my mind, which is, how does her ex, Tommy, feel about her post-breakup? So what does Amberlynn Reid's ex, Emily, think of her post-breakup? Please and thank you. 10 of Swords! Immediately popped out, bro! You know what? It's getting easier to talk while shuffling. This card was also sticking out. So we have the 10 of Swords. This guy It's the end. It's terrible. It was like a devastation unlike any other. So with the Ten of Swords, the 10 signifies the end of the cycle before we get to the court cards, which are the page, knight, king, queen, or queen, king, in that order. And so with the mentality of the swords, once you reach the end, once you go through the back and forth of like, oh, we're doing this, oh, I'm thinking this, and etc., and trying to shape, overall, it just kind of overwhelms you and kills you, really. And then we have the Ace of Wands, and so it was. This is going to sound terrible, but the way that it was explained to me by some cheeky little British tarot readers is that with the wands, it is very much about the physicality of things. It's about action, and I don't really want to think about this, but unfortunately the card did come out, so I have to talk about it because I said I would. But it can heavily relate to like sexuality, to passion, fire, etc. So it was a very passionate thing, but it also could just be like she's beating Amberlynn, beat her with a big stick, just like, you know, to the point where she just got so fucking fed up mentally with all of it, and she was like, goodbye. And finally, the last question, which is, what is holding Amberlynn Reid back from becoming a better person? We all know what it is, but I want to know from the cards. So let's get this started. Oh no. Oh, she won't work on herself. 8 of Cups fell out sideways on my desk, and then another one fell out on the floor. I don't know which that one is yet. Let's see, is any of that important? Yeah, top of the deck's very important. Bottom of the deck doesn't really matter. Alright, so we got the 4 of Wands, the 8 of Cups, and it fell out sideways slightly in reverse. Ow. I hit my hand on my desk. And then the Page of Pentacles. And so what this indicates to me is this is very much giving Dear Evan Hansen, waving through a window on the outside, always looking in. She's ostracized herself from the stability that comes with the 4, and because remember, wands are all about action and, you know, the physicality of everything, she is unwilling to move past the wand. She's unwilling to put in the effort to go and meet people where they are instead of having them come to her. Then we have the I just hit my hand again. Then we have the 8 of Pentacles sideways, leaning reverse, so I'm just going to read it as reverse. And that is an inability to put in the effort to work on things, right? With the Pentacles being about the material, I also associate it with creature comforts. And what is creature comforts? In essence, security. She's not willing to work on herself, to work on the material goods, to work on not the physicality, but the stability of her physicality. She's not prepared to go and put in the work to make things better because she's stingy as fuck. Now, typically, I think the 4 of Pentacles is the stingy from Lazy Town card where it's like, mine, 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 mine. But the Page of Pentacles here, you can see him. He's, you know, holding on to that pentacle. And the way that I view pages in tarot is they are the opposite of kings. They are the novices who think they know everything versus the kings who are experts and admit that they don't know everything. So with this and with her material sense, especially with what Beck came out with recently with Mr. Snowflake's second Q&A, is that she's so caught up in holding on to dearly the material, to the things that she knows, because she thinks that everything that she has is everything that there is, instead of understanding that there is so much more than just material. She can't realize that because the only thing that's ever been a stable constant for her has been inanimate objects. People change, objects don't. You know, with wear and tear, but semantics, okay? Semantics. But that being said, all in all, what prevents Amber from becoming a better person is her inability to work on herself and really just challenge herself to go and maybe let go of those pentacles, maybe let go of those goods those material items that she really roots her worth in, because it's preventing her from like going and celebrating, right? This can either be a beckoning or a going away, like a farewell party. But it seems like people have tried to be nice to her, have tried to welcome her into their life, into their party, into their shindig, whatever, but she's just so fucking caught up in her own worries and issues, as always. La 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 la. That's all there really is to say. That I'm so sorry, Goldie. I didn't mean to do that. But anyway, that's it for my first tarot video, and I really hope that this kind of shed some insight, shed some light on things. If not, that's fine, because this is my first YouTube video. But that being said, we are not Amber. We're better. And we're going to do better. I hope you have a lovely day, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.